Hello, welcome. It is I, Arathon Hanzo. Be real up in your face in the camera today, so I hope you don't mind that. I want to talk today about shipping cards and how you're supposed to do it because I've tried a lot of different ways and I finally found a way that's pretty successful for me. And I still get self-conscious about it. I worry that the person I'm sending a card to doesn't like this method or they're going to give me a bad review because, I used this type of card holder and not a different one, or this kind of tape and not the one they like. And I can be picky about that myself and judgy when I get stuff in the mail. So let's spend a little bit of time to talk about how we package cards. When I first started putting stuff together, I shipped every single card in a top loader. So this got a little expensive for me. Top loaders, like when I get a good deal on them, they're maybe 25 cents a piece. That's kind of like a lot when you're only charging like 99 cents for shipping. And the other thing I do is I seal them with blue painter's tape. It doesn't necessarily have to be blue. It's just easy to find the blue tape. It's usually painter's tape, but not some sort of masking tape or something else. I like to put that on the top of the top loaders, so if the card's bouncing around inside of there, it's touching that instead of clear tape or something else that's a little bit stickier. I don't want to get that residue on the card. But I've kind of like leaned away from it. So the old method was top loader, tape into a team bag, and on its way. So I was probably putting 35 cents of stuff plus a 60-cent stamp into it. So it really was the shipping cost. And then, but stuff would still like get messed up in the mail. I would get stuff back all the time where, maybe not all the time. I probably had 10 to 15 cards that didn't make it during that period, and 5, 6, 700. I don't remember exactly how many it was, but it felt like way too many, right? I feel like that's more than 1% or 2%. So I wanted to change something else. And what I was shipping after I top loaded them into the team bag, plain white envelope off the shelf. And these are like the peel and stick kind. I had like I had the licky ones. I use licky ones now. I love the taste of glue. And I put my packing slip in there. I dropped the top loader in there. And what I think would happen is eventually the top loaders like shift around in here and they end up like way on the edge. So the hard part gets on the edge, and then when the post office processes these, they go through all the automatic sorting machines. And even though it's well under a 1/4 inch thickness, even with like 2 top loaders in there, it's under a 1/4 inch thickness, which is the maximum. When they zoop right on through those machines, it grabs it really hard on top of there and then immediately like tries to flex it, and it can't like quite do it on the top loader. So when it's in the middle though, it seems to hold up a little better and doesn't really get stuck in there. So I started using a little bit of extra piece of tape. Let me get some tape going here, baby. I'll just roll up a piece of tape. Doggy right here a little bit. Stick it on the outside of the team bag and stick it right in the middle of the envelope so it doesn't go anywhere. And I haven't lost one since I started doing that. I also upgraded to a heavier envelope. I bought these 20-pound envelopes, which overall really aren't much more expensive, but they're significantly more durable. You know, this thing is like falling over just holding it in my hand. I think if I held, this is just like an empty one and it just like falls over in my hand on its own. And these things are just way better. They stand up, and I haven't lost a single one of these yellow ones yet either. So I like that. That's been working out well for me. The only thing that kind of bugs me though is like cards kind of bonk around in here inside of a top loader. I'm looking for a sleeve card. There we go. This is going to be our sacrifice today. The Oroichi Soul Reaver. Iron Reaver Soul Stealer. If you guys ain't out back hitting some Inuyasha moves, you don't like anime. So in the top loader, the card still kind of bonks around a bit. You can hear it kind of, I'm gonna shake it by the mic. You can kind of hear it flipping around in there. And I worry that it's gonna do that like the whole way in the mail. It's gonna bounce around inside of there. Even with like the tape on the top, it can still move around a little bit. So there's these things here, card savers. Where's the box? Inside my shelf of shipping, card saver gold. These are pretty good. Card Saver Gold. Not as sturdy as the outside walls of the top loader. But I put it in off camera, but you just slide them on in. And you can put multiple cards inside of these sometimes if you really want to. But they just go in there like that. And they don't really move around as much. You can't like bonk it out. I'm trying to like bonk it on the table. It doesn't really move. It doesn't really move side to side. And even though it's definitely flimsier, so it improves our chance of shooting through those USPS machines, they don't really end up bent either because they have to go through those machines unless you pay for the manual handing fee, which is also more than I want to pay to ship when I'm shipping like $1 cards. So these work out pretty well. They don't really move, but something about this thing just like makes me uncomfortable compared to a top loader. And I think it's just because I've always used top loaders. And there's plenty of other guys that ship cards that swear by these things and use them all the time. So I'm trying to transition into a card saver like only shipping thing. And on top of card savers, they also, Ultra Pro makes their own version, which is actually, might be hard to see because these things are kind of clear. But like the Ultra Pro version is like smaller than the card saver version. So they're not quite as big. They're actually like kind of rough to shove this guy in here. I always like struggle a little bit. I have to like line them up perfect and, you know, just edge them in there a little bit. If you're good at edging, you'll know what I'm doing here. So we get that guy on in there, squeeze them in. And sometimes for me, I leave the sleeves sticking out a little bit because I don't want to like jam it in there too hard. But these are still the same. Like they don't really move around. You can't bonk them around. I can't get it to shift. It doesn't fall out of there even without tape. So like these things work great. And they're way cheaper than top loaders. I just feel like maybe just I have a personal stigma against them where they don't seem like they're going to work out perfectly. They're like, they easily fit in the width of the envelope. Even the big one, you know, fits in a normal envelope. Just goes right in there and goes around. And then that's all I throw away, right? I use one of these inside of here per card. If I got multiple cards, I'll usually slap them into a top loader together. And then there's no team bag. Everybody does, though, get their very special Arathon Hanzo sticker if you buy one of my cards on TCG Player. This is like my only form of advertisement. You buy a card, you get a sticker from some asshole with a YouTube channel. And it saves all my team bags for important things like my collection of Bill the Pony cards. You guys remember back in Lord of the Rings, I had a dream buying a lot of Bill the Pony cards, and I didn't buy these. These are still all the ones I opened, but we love Bill the Pony. But that's where I'm at on shipping these days. We're using yellow envelopes, card savers, and no losses. It's been a long time since I've had a card not make it in there. If you buy something expensive from me, I'm slapping it up in one of these, paying the $4 shipping to get it over there to you. Probably still coming in like a top loader. I'll probably put cardboard on either side of it. It doesn't really do anything except keep it from flexing a little bit. You're not really going to save a card in the mail from a puncture. If something stabs through that package, cardboard, tarp loader, card saver is not really going to do it. It's just going to get eaten. And then you go make yourself an insurance claim. But I think these guys end up pretty well. They work well for me. Well, that's all I really do is shipping. Do you guys think I'm doing it right? Do you do it any different way? Let me know, because I'm always looking to improve this part of it. I would feel terrible if somebody got a card and they were just mad for the next day because they thought I shipped it wrong. And I'm sure that happens. I mean, I get stuff and I judge the way it was put together and shipped. And like I ordered a bunch of legendary cards for Lorcana to fill out my playset, and they came like, you know, $30 Rapunzel came just in a penny sleeve in an envelope, and I'm like, well, it got here okay, but man, I was frustrated. I wouldn't want to receive a card like that again. So if you think any of this stuff is junk, any of it, you know, you wouldn't want it on any of your cards, please let me know. I'm open to all that kind of feedback. I want to get this process down and make sure everybody that gets a card from me is happy with it to the best of my ability. I know no one's always going to be happy. So yeah, let me know. This is what I'm doing now. Let me know your methods, and thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Don't forget about our giveaway. Subscribe, You'll be entered into the giveaway automatically for a Murders at Karlov Manor Play Booster box. And take care. Thanks for watching.